We got a 2013 flavor Chevy Cruze, the wonderful Ecotech. We got a customer complaining of some whirling noises at idle and higher speeds, just kind of in general. So I'm going to get the intake out, take the belt off, and then look around, start spinning around some pulleys, and just see what makes the most amount of noise. Let's work this intake boot off of here. Once this clamp's loose, then slide it up out of the grommets. It's just rubber grommets on the bottom of the box. Once you get those popped up, then you can just set her off to the side. And down there underneath that engine mount is a E-Torx, which is the top of the tensioner itself. So I'm going to put the E-Torx on there, and then I'm going to apply some pressure to it so I can work the belt off. Once you get the belt worked off, then basically just shove it in spots to where the belt's not touching any of the pulleys, and just start spinning pulleys. And just see what kind of resembles the same amount of noise that you hear when it's sitting there running. So nothing on the water pump, nothing on the AC. Oh, that sounds familiar. Yep, that'll be the culprit then. Looks like we got to do an alternator replacement. So we'll get it underneath, we'll undo the connector, the controller basically, and then we'll undo the battery post. Now this is constant power, so be sure you undo the battery before you undo that terminal, or else you'll have some fun sparky action. Now this is my sweet treat of a trick. You shove a flathead in that little tab of the tensioner and it holds pressure against it. That way the spring's not loaded up like Hiroshima about to blow apart on you when you take this bolt out. Now after you back this bolt off here, you'll see it just slides the bottom of that tensioner down just a tiny bit, just like that, so you can get to that bottom bolt of the alternator here. Then you'll work this one out. Maybe one of these days I should invest in those Milwaukee electric ratchets. Might make it a little bit faster. But you get the bottom one out, then you'll work your way to the top one. I already loosened this one, so just roll the socket in your hand. It's extremely fast. Then once you get that pulled out, use a little pry bar, get some tension, and then you got to try and figure out the Jenga puzzle to get this thing worked out of there. Try and pull it up. These are flex line hoses for that fuel line, so I'll just push that out of the way. Here we go. Get this thing out of here. There we go. And then let's listen again. Sounds like a box of marbles, but always compare your old part to your new part. Make sure the mounting's the same, the connector's the same, make sure everything's always the same. Let's get her slid back in there like a slip and slide. Then we'll put that bottom mount in between the two tabs, that way it slides in there in that little bracket. There we go. Then we'll grab our top bolt. I like to do the top bolt because then it's kind of swinging, and then it makes it easy to try and find and line up the bottom hole once you get the top one started, just like that. Then I'll proceed to put a little bit of English on them, give them a little bit of torculation. Then once those things are nice and tight, then we'll work on our tensioner bolt. Just swing it back over to where the hole is. There's kind of like a little lip that it sits against, which definitely helps. But once you get it in there, then slide it in by hand. Make sure you're threaded most of the way in. That way there's no pressure against it. Put a little English on that too. And then here we go with the belt. Hit the tensioner. Put a little lean on it. Then shove that belt back on there. Make sure you get it on all the grooves all the way on there. And then grab that flathead out. There you go. Let it go, and then make sure the belt's on all the grooves and the pulleys, so you don't have any weird walking or anything when you first fire it up. So let's get this intake box back on with the MAF sensor plug out of the way. That way you don't squish that down below. Oh, fell down anyway. Oh well. Now there's this hose underneath, just one. Slide her on. There we go. Push the air box back down, and then we'll just hook that hose back up where the clamp is and tighten her down. Then the only thing that's left really is everything that's underneath, which is the connector and then the constant power source to the battery. So after we get this clamp on, that's what we're going to do. Oh, don't forget to plug in your MAF. That might cause some issues. So here we go. Now this constant power has a little groove basically that it sits in. That way it sits flush. You've seen it just click in there. And then throw your nut on, tighten it down, and that's it. Pretty simple. Once you get that tight, then you just do your connector, shove it on there. You're good to go. Last things last is do your battery. Once you hook up your battery, make sure you don't have any sparks going on. Nothing crazy happening, and then fire it up and see what it sounds like. These battery clamps are super annoying with these like plastic clips that clip all around the top of the battery. It's just ridiculous. I tried to charge this battery for like 2 days too, and it wouldn't take a charge at all. So later on I ended up just throwing a new battery in this thing because it wouldn't hold a charge, not even in the slightest bit. But oh well, we tried. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I do appreciate your support. Please like, comment, subscribe, and always stay tuned for more content. I appreciate you.